welcome back to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. I'm a Wisecom. Empath. I thought I would do this late little bits of tits. Shell up a nut. Little afternoon wrap up. Since sometimes I do these videos in the morning, and then as the day goes on, I'm like, God, I wish I would have said this. So the two things I want to just go over real quick. I think it's so funny. Hey, there are different levels of what people are trying to do spiritually here. But just to give you a frame of reference as to what I'm trying to do. See, it's weird to me that all these spiritual guides or whatever you want to call it, I just tell stories. I don't know what people want to put labels on these. I just tell stories. And the story I see is a group of people that are trying to break down these paradigms of how things have been and how they haven't been serving us and how men have controlled everything for all eternity, which is weird because it's so funny. You know, Bible's God's a man and he, God, he, which is funny because on earth, everything that's ever been created as far as humanity has been by a woman through birth. So I think it's funny that everything but as above so below except for that, no. I see God as energetically imbalanced, masculine, feminine, this big old huge spectrum from evil to good, and just love and light, there's stuff in there depending on, where you're sitting on his decision if it's going to be good or evil for you, I know a lot of times, that people could wonder that every time freaking good things happen to bad people. Anyway, so in the spirit of breaking down all these paradigms of all these ideologies that have been posed upon us by society and religion and governments and all this stuff, right? All these spiritualists that preach all this and then they're like, I'm going to take some time off and celebrate the holidays, which seems to me is the paradigm that you're trying to break down anyway. But you can break so spiritual beings that take holidays off. That's kind of hypocritical to me. Yeah, it is. Kind of shows me your ass right there and what you're really about, I don't get days off. No, so I don't know. Maybe no, who else should? I don't get days off. Parents don't get days off. I don't know. They get a reprieve when their kids go to school. Yeah. Go to grandma's house. So yeah, they do get days off, but I don't get days off. Anyway, what else? I thought that was freaking hilarious as I was listening to these spiritual giants with tens and thousands of, viewers and things like that, or subscribers, and they're talking about how these freaking ideologies, paradigms are breaking down, but they got to take time off, spend with their family for Christmas, and it just fucking stupid. Anyway, what are you gonna do? Just kind of laugh at it, take note, and add to the list. Things to be mindful of, and who I want to conduct my business with, because I only want to work with people in integrity. And that's what's cool about stuff is people, they don't have longevity, they get bored. So even if they act like really rad spiritualists and they're all really deep and shit, they can't freaking hang on to that either if they're just making up errors. So that's why a lot of spiritualists have flashed in and flashed right out. People don't have longevity, they get tired and bored, and it's just easier to sell out and just go freaking sell, be a salesman and work for profits and all that stuff. Whatever can take you away from your family and your loved ones, Some guy said, there's a post about the shutdown. People work 50, 60 hours a week. I'm like, people are workaholics because they want to be workaholics. Yeah, they want to. They make the decision to stay in the office because they don't want to fucking go home, dude. It's personal choice. Don't give me that we don't have free will shit. I'm pretty sure that federal employees are still getting hot showers, even though I haven't had one since fucking June. But wah, wah. Anyway, coming out of meditation today, it's funny, I freaking went all the way under today, and I came out of meditation with this, people don't forgive themselves, man. People have not forgiven themselves. So I'll tell you what, right here, right now, for whatever transgression you have done against yourself, whether that is just disrespecting yourself by freaking having, just being a freaking hoe bag, just being a slut. It's cool if you want to be a slut. I know people, but when, or a drunk. I was a drunk. I tried to be a slut when I'm not good at it. I know about energy, and I just don't like freaking mixing with people that I don't know. Hey, other people can do it. That's cool. Your path, whatever. It ain't mine. That creates karma, dude. When you don't disrespect when you disrespect yourself too, you're creating karma. I've been eating oatmeal for like 2 days. My field's pretty clear. Anyway, but I'm here to tell you today that I forgive you. It's okay, because we are the hardest critics on ourselves, man. I have beat myself up in history. Beat myself up good. Like, you are, just the self-deprecating talk and self-doubt and just, I can still do it every now and again, then I realize that shit ain't mine. But if you can't forgive yourself, which is the first step in easing your dis-ease, then I'm here to forgive you. Yeah. And if you don't have faith that things are going to be okay, you can borrow mine, like a cup of sugar. That's what community is supposed to do. When we get weary, we're supposed to be able to get carried. That hadn't been working, so, because there's just the greed, got out of hand. But I got a pretty sneaky suspicion that this lunar eclipse on the 5th is going to level the playing field. It's happening. It just, people aren't getting it, so we get more extreme measures. And then people, have a chance to live things right. And I'm going to end up on this little story because I think it's fucking hilarious. Ideas created in the heart space of greed will not succeed. And if you look at the celestial patterns that are happening now, go back to see what was happening about 126 years ago. Yeah, that's when Thomas Edison that guy, man. I just remember getting a much different picture of presented to me of what kind of man that is, and coming to find out he's not the greatest inventor. And if you look at him, he looks shady, and he's not. Anyway, he was one of the founding people of PG&E. Now, we've been given opportunities time and time again. I mean, there's stories of advanced technologies, and that the pyramids all over the world. There's no means of communication, but these places all over the world have the same structures. Whatever. And then civilizations get wiped out, and people history's erased, and then they can create their own version or impose their, what they want you to think your history ought to be. Anyway, that dude was a scumbag, dude. He stole patents. He didn't freaking invent anything. He stole shit from other people, and freaking, all these times we had this, PG&E could have freaking gotten to the point where free energy for everyone, but they went greedy, and now they're getting, they're getting their karma, and they're gonna get it in a big way, and they're getting charged for murder in California, because they're freaking all this stuff, all these entities that have said, give us all your money, and we'll make things happen. Well, they have been making things happen, and they've been greedy and playing, like, those grocery store people up in the Midwest that closed their store, but they took all, while they're freaking going around living the jet set life, and while they're taking money from people's pensions and all that karma stuff, dude. Fucking good luck. with that, dude. If you're a shady, freaking greedy motherfucker, you're in for some woeful shit right now. Because I'm seeing it. It's everywhere. It's all over the media. It's every time you walk out the door. You know, I mean, it's just it's just the veil is thinning. That is for sure. Anyway, I just want to get on quick and make notice of a couple of points that I thought were pretty funny, and I hope you have a rad evening. Peace.